What's up, Zero people? How's it going? Shout out. My name's Dub Digital. Come up on the internet twice a week, Tuesdays, Thursdays, 12 p.m. ish, Pacific Standard Time. Pacific, my bad. Zero people? What? Where's everyone at? There's one person. How's it going? How you been? Good? Great to see you. Great to see you. One person. Who is it? Who is it? I gotta know. Here. The one, the only. How you been? Ride or die. Love it. 2 people now. We just doubled. I like it. We'll give people some time to filter in here. Xavier was good, bro. How you been? Man. That's all I need. 2 people, 2 crypto OGs. Let's go. Bitcoin's going down. Like we said, it's healthy, man. It's healthy. It's healthy. It's healthy. Don't trip out. Don't freak out. Don't freak out. We went down to what? This morning, 62,000. We got a garbage man outside, so my bad. But we went down this morning, 62,000. We were around 73,000. Okay. That's what? Let's do the math. What's the math on it? Minus 11,000 divided by 73. That's 15%. So typically, if you don't know, corrections of 30% in Bitcoin's price and bull run is typical, here and there. It's a good way to blow off steam. Will there be more? Is it sit? Doesn't matter. Not really. Doesn't really matter, guys. Right? Like, you can have an active portion of your bag. You're jumping in, you're jumping out. But, I'm not really a fan of that, to be quite frank. It's like doing too much. You're doing too much. It's like you're too active. You're just moving stuff around. You can compound your bag somewhat, right? You can move out before it drops and then move back in and move out and move back in. But one day, the more you do that, the more chance you have of being left out of the move. So I don't suggest it. Yeah, you might have a slightly bigger bag if you're doing all this in, out, but you know what? It's not worth the risk. It's not worth the stress. Screw that. Whatever. We're good. We're chilling. It's going to be all good. 9 people, what's up? Please give us notifications 10 minutes early so we get ready for the live stream. Need to do popcorn. My bad, dude. I just got up on here, man. My freaking dog. My little dog. Like, halfway ran away yesterday. I had him on a walk. And check this out. I had him on a walk, and there's like this portion of a hiking trail where I take him off leash because ain't no one around there. But there was some you could hear faintly in the distance a skateboard. He heard a skateboard and he starts freaking out. I'm like, dude, chill. And he runs like a quarter of a mile out to chase him, pull my hamstring. So I'm a little slower doing things today. It's funny, I pulled my hamstring. I didn't even run that fast. What the hell, man? It's freaking getting older, bro. What's going on? I used to be able to do whatever. Now I can't. What the? So my bad. I know. I should be better. I know. I'm sorry. I always say that, though. Hey, Dub, great time to pick up some small bags. You could. Everyone was piling all up into those meme coins. You see that? It's the way it goes, right? It's always an indicator. Whenever memes are popping off and things are flying like crazy %, we saw meme mappers, meme book of memes, altcoin popping off 2,000%. It's not sustainable. People are way out on the risk curve. Right now, the fear and greed index, I guess, has a good thing to look at. Let's look at that right now. Actually, you know what? No. Let's do the heat check first. Let's go look at CoinMarketCap. You always start with the heat check. You see what's happening in the space, and then we'll go to the fear and greed index. We'll see what that fear and greed index actually means in terms of market performance. But let's look at the market performance first. Man, my dog, man, what the hell? That fool was on a timeout, man. What's going on? Share the screen. Here we go. So let's see. Bitcoin 64,000, almost 65,000. pop in real quick. It's recovering a little bit. Yeah, we were down there. We were down there 62,000. A couple hours before, it was marginally higher. That's not great. There might be more drop. Yeah, there probably will be a little bit more drop. I mean, when you zoom out 7-day, it kind of looks like a double bottom. It's a marginal lower bottom. Might not drop a lot more. Well, you can even see it here. The volume looks flat right here. On the 7-day, it looks like it's declining somewhat. We'll have to see. It's not like it's getting bought up very viciously, so you might have some more drop. Those freaking trash men are going ham out there. But yeah, I mean, it's understandable. Like, we gave some back. I said usually 30% on, significant Bitcoin pullbacks during bull markets. We've only had 15%. So in theory, this thing could drop a little more. When you go on the 1 year, you see this head and shoulder thing, sharp looking head and shoulder thing. To be honest, I mean, we could fall down here at 52. That's probably worst case scenario in my mind. 52. To be quite frank, though, that's kind of like healthy. I mean, guys, we were going up for a quickness. I was like, what is going on? I mean, look at this move. Is it like that crazy we're having a pullback? No. I mean, if anything, this thing's long overdue. I was saying that like a month ago. This goes to show you extended moves can move longer than you think. The market can stay irrational longer than you think. But every single time, eventually, everything comes back down with gravity. So we'll see. 65,000. It can give some back. I mean, historically speaking, things have went down into the halving. It makes sense. The volume looks like it's not really following for a secondary huge pump. See a little head and shoulders on the yearly. Slightly lower low on this W, but yeah, we'd probably give some more back. But high 50s, in the 50s. I don't think it's anything like cataclysmic. So no big deal, man. No big deal. But what the one thing I thought was interesting, and we'll see. Let's go and do the spot check on altcoins. ETH down $3,300, whatever. Solana $183. Avalanche 56. Doge at 13. But we still have things up on the 7-day. I'll go to the 24-hour because this is like a recent drop. But let's look at the 7-day first. Dogwa Hat is up 31% still. That's how much these things went up. Phantom, 27%. Aptos, 22%. Solana, 23%. Conflux, Ton. Okay, let's go. So if you're in the day where the drop just occurred, this is where the 24-hour marker matters, right? If there's nothing happening drastically in the market, 24-hour doesn't mean much. You want to use a 7-day. But we'll look at the 24-hour. 24 hours, we have 14% in Phantom. We have 10% in Celestia, 10% in Aptos. This is pretty interesting because Bitcoin is down around 5% in 24 hours. We have altcoins in double-digit gains still, which is suggesting to me, and we can look at the charts, that yes, profits are being taken off the table on Bitcoin, but they're not just going straight to stablecoins like we've seen for the last 2.5 years. It's a mix. We're starting to see some money eke into altcoins. People are taking Bitcoin profits and getting up in altcoins. Let's look at Phantom just for an example. Yeah, I mean, today's the 19th. This thing was at 85 cents. Now it's at over $1. Right when Bitcoin's dropping. So if you're scared of a bear market coming, I mean, let's be rational here, okay? When there's bear markets, Bitcoin goes down 5% and alts are down 30%. It's like exponential in the opposite direction. Right now, we're not seeing that. That's not giving that's telling me that people are still crypto on right now, and that's what I'm saying. It's not a cataclysmic event. But let's see the losers. Wow, 24 hours only up, not even 10% losers on CoinMarketCap. That's saying something, guys. Pretty substantial drop in Bitcoin, right? Not that substantial drop in altcoins. Interesting. And I mean, like, dang, man, this is pretty interesting. Price, what am I doing? 1 hour. Wow. Alts are holding pretty good here. Let's look at Floki. This thing went up a lot. So you always want to look at what Bitcoin's doing and what the rest of the market's doing. And whatever the rest of the market is doing is giving you a good indication of what possibly can occur. See, the meme coins, like I always say, you got to know the nature of the asset, right? The beautiful thing about meme coins is they can make you a lot of money really fast. The bad part about meme coins is because they can make you money very fast, they can lose you money very fast, right? So that's why, know what you're holding here, right? Like, you want to hold your meme coins, cool. You can hold them through dips, but know that they're more like oscillators. Out of nowhere, boom, they shoot up and they're coming down just the same. This thing was topped out on the 11th. That's like a little over a week ago. Now it's down substantially. It's probably going to find some support here, but because it has this little knob thing, like mini shoulder looking thing, I'm thinking it might, some substantial decreases on this thing. Unless it starts like rounding out, we won't tell. But the volume looks kind of like, it's dropping hard. Because you got to understand, people who hold those things, they don't know anything about this. In fact, Floki has some things beneath it, right? It has some tech that I talked about before, but other things like meme coins, there's nothing supporting these things. It's just hype. It's just a momentum play. Momentum plays are beautiful until they start dropping, and then the momentum's in the opposite direction, right? So we'll see. If you missed out on memes, maybe, this might be a chance. But, Bitcoin's only down 15%. Bitcoin has a potential to go down around 30%. That seems to be average for Bitcoin drops during bull markets. So I'm not going to be jumping and trying to catch a falling knife. If anything, if you want to pick up more bags, I'm good. But if you want to pick up more bags, you want to look at the chart and start to see where it looks like a bull, right? That's accumulation. You want to be accumulating when everyone else is accumulating. You might not get the bottom, but you're not going to get like wrecked another 50% by trying to catch the falling knife. Don't catch the falling knife. It's not worth it. Sucks. It's not worth it. Hey, Dub, great time to pick up small bags. Take a look at XEP, Electric Protocol, for the past 2 weeks and today. Okay. I know I got some XEP fans out here. I'll show some love. Why not? I gave up coffee. I'm trying to drink some more tea. It don't hit like coffee. Wow. Killing it. 32 million market cap. Okay. Going ham. Yep. See, this is the thing. Like, that's all. But today, in the 7-day, it's up 85%. Today, it's up 35%. You're starting to see liquidity rotate into even smaller caps. I mean, much love, XCP, but like, you guys aren't really a big cap. You're a small cap. And we're starting to see some money leak into small caps. I mean, another one was when. Not such a big gain on that, but like on the 1 day, it's up 14%. Oh, wow. This thing, the volume's following. Look at that. W bottomed. It's sitting pretty much at a part where, like, Wham might make a big pop at some point pretty soon here. But what I'm trying to show you is not necessarily like I'm trying to single out these coins. I'm trying to show you is the transition, the rotation of the money from big cap. And like we had a lot of medium caps make a lot of money. Now it's starting to flow down, finally make its way substantially into small cap, right? So people, for the most part, have seen Bitcoin's break above 69, 68-ish, high 68s. Went well into 73. Now we're coming back. But people know what this means. It's a temporary drawback. It's a temporary drawdown. People are taking some immediate profits off the table and capitalizing on that new influx of liquidity. But it's only a matter of time because this thing happened at, at 1,000. Remember 2017, Bitcoin went up, boop, came right back down. Remember. Happened again at, I guess you say 20,000, yeah. Yeah, we're stuck at 10,000 for a long time. You shot right up to 20,000, went up, shot down. Made a couple attempts, then shot up like right to 64,000. right? This isn't Bitcoin's nature. It's never just a clear straight up. Never. Why? Because I went through every single freaking thing, like this is how it goes. It's a part of the process. And you look at it as a process, you stop thinking about it being so bad and just necessary. We are that much closer to actually getting to where we want to go. These things must happen. What's good, Dub? Growth Mafia in the building. Hey, how was Growth doing, man? Guys are kicking. Hey, let's see it. That's a small cap too. Okay, giving some back. I mean, we talked about that, right? That was pretty high. I think you guys can agree. Volume's still declining. It has not found a base as yet, I don't think. Not yet. I mean, definitely probably come back down to here. We'll see if it bases. I don't know how these things are going to move. Very new coins don't give you much like technical like understanding of how the coin moves, but we'll see. We'll see. Interesting times, guys. Interesting times. You learn more in the drops than you do in the pops. It's easy in the pops, right? It's about looking like, okay, what's happening? Like everything is a learning experience. Bitcoin's doing this. What is alt's doing? Like alt's doing that. Okay, this is what's happening to its ecosystem tokens. Like use everything as an experience. It's not just like, oh, it didn't happen the way I want. Okay, so like, what did you get wrong? Like what didn't you see? What opportunities like did you not able to capitalize on? Right? Like always be learning something. If you're not learning, like you're doing this wrong. 42 people, what's good? Yo, Dub, out of many take profit strategies, do you think the 5 tranche 20% each is the best one? Have you tried different solutions in the past? Just trying to get ready for the final top. Yeah, I mean, I've tried 3 tranches. I've tried 50-50, right? Like take 50 off the table and stuff like that. I just like 5. I want the average. Like I talked about the average. I mean, you could do more than that, right? But like the more see, like if it's really like what amount of tranches is right. That's something that you're gonna have to think about because I talked about rating your altcoins like low, medium, high, like confidence, right? Higher confidence, probably higher the amount of tranches because you like one, it's not gonna be oscillators. It's just not gonna be like woof, woof. Like, look, I got XRP, right? I know, but looking at the technical chart of XRP, it's an oscillator. Oscillator means it just takes off, spikes up, and comes down very fast. That's the nature of its asset, like Doge, like name another meme coin or whatever, something that spikes up and comes back down very fast. You're not gonna want to do like 5 tranches of that thing. Well, you might, but like you need to take those tranches quicker together than you would maybe a Bitcoin, maybe an Ethereum. You know what I'm saying? So like I don't think there's a a one type fits all like scaling out strategy for every asset because when you know the nuances of each asset, you're like, okay, Bitcoin tends to be more sustained up towards its top longer than XRP because that's true, right? So like you need to look at them and be like, okay, I'm going to maybe do 3 tranches for XRP and oscillators and Doge and meme coins like that, right? Like XRP is not really a meme coin, but it moves. Like look at the chart, it moves like that. I don't know why. And then like Ethereum and stuff, like maybe that 5 tranche makes more sense because like it takes longer for it to like start peaking and does some like distribution and then starts coming back down. But things that don't give me time, I'm gonna have less tranches. I would say around 3, right? Gets you somewhat of an average, but like, what are you comfortable with? Have I done like studies on it? No, dog. But like don't listen to me, right? What do you think's right for you? How many tranches do you want to do? Just know that the more tranches you do, like, I mean, like, it's like, I think 5 is good because like you're making big swaths of your bag. You're getting significant chunks. Like, and if you misplay it, okay, you got 60% up towards the top and you got the 40 other percent on the decline, right? If you're doing 10 and you're doing it across time, you have the potential to mismanage that profit pulling more because it's taking longer to do. It's not a very good like answer, but like, I'm just giving you guys like what I'm going to do. I'm going to try this one out this cycle. 5 tranches. Let's see. I did 3 before, 50-50 last time, a little old lady strategy I talked about all the time, right? If you just want to play it safe, guys, and like you just want to make sure you don't lose money, I think little old lady strategy is the best way to go, right? You put money in, you wait for it to double, you take 50% off, you hold the rest of 50% because it's free casino money for you, right? And then you can figure out what to do later. I mean, that if you want to be like the most risk-free on that, you can do that. But the only downside of that is you like lessen your size of your bag right off the top, right? So like, whatever you're into. 49 people, it's good. XP Electric Protocol, 1000%. Nice. Every alt gets its turn to pump. This is nothing new. I mean, you know, not every alt. I mean, look at 2021. I mean, yeah. That cycle, we didn't get the euphoria phase. Not many alts pumped beyond its all-time high. Or even if, right? Like there's plenty of alts to do that. So like in that way, that whatever it was, cycle, fill in phase of the cycle, fill in the blank, that didn't happen for every alt. We're starting to see decorrelation. But what I've been saying on this channel, you've been following me, is I don't really think the last pump up in 2021 was a real full-blown cycle. I'm of the conviction now that the cycles are actually lengthening because the market cap is getting bigger. Takes more money injections and more money in general to move at the same percentages. The higher Bitcoin goes above its previous all-time high, the more euphoric the market gets. The more euphoric it gets, the greedier it gets, and the more people diversify their profits into smaller and smaller market cap coins. I think that is coming soon. But instead of saying that this is a new, brand new cycle, like separated completely from 2021, I am making the claim that 2021 was an initial pump up, and now we're going to get the coming euphoria phase coming next. Why do I say that? It's not something I'm just making up. It's something that the Bitcoin dominance chart is suggesting to me. Now, you don't got to believe that. Let me do this. Is because the last cycle or whatever was actually a pretty minute drop in the Bitcoin dominance. Then the Fed came in and raised the rates. We started seeing a risk off. Bitcoin dominance started rising up. People started getting out of risk on assets. Bitcoin is a risk on asset, but altcoins are a risk on asset on steroids, right? I see a time coming very soon. The Fed meets tomorrow. And they might not do it now, but they also have another chance in June to start lowering interest rates. Lowering interest rates is very good for risk on assets. Altcoins are the ultimate risk on assets. So I'm starting to see where monetary policy is coming into play with this chart on Bitcoin dominance. It's been a multi-year rising wedge where Bitcoin's been gaining a merc in everything. All the gains we've seen in Bitcoin, in altcoins so far, has been a marginal drop in the Bitcoin dominance, but it's been hugging the bottom side of the structure. We haven't seen any noticeable decrease in Bitcoin dominance, which means significant money is flowing out of Bitcoin into altcoins. We have not seen that yet, and things are popping off super duper hard. So what's going to happen when these things start to drop? Altcoins are going to go ham. We're going to start to see a euphoria phase that we didn't see last cycle. And the reason I'm saying that is because last cycle was very hyped based, right? We saw meme coins pop off. You know, everyone loves a meme coin. We saw Metaverse pop off. We saw AI pop off. Terra Luna was going ham. I mean, we had a select few. But now this one has this like, you know, super mini altcoin season we just got done with after, you know, Bitcoin's at 73,000. It feels different to me because we're starting to see 2017 coins and 2014 coins start to be at the top of coin market cap. That's not something that was happening in 2021, right? The froth is going much more deeply. It's penetrating the space much deeper, and we haven't even dropped in the Bitcoin dominance to any significant degree. And another reason I'm saying that is, yes, I'm just, you know, you could say, you know, this drop was approximately 34%, and you're predicting till we hit the next support line on Bitcoin dominance at about, you know, 28% drop. That's not that much drop. That's true. But this is a significant, I mean, this is a conservative, I guess that would be conservative drop. The reason being is, typically in charting, magnitudes of structures mean something, right? This magnitude gave us a 38, 35% drop on Bitcoin dominance, and it's a year long. This structure looks similar, if not the same. It's a rising wedge, and it's almost about 3 years long. That would suggest the drop could be much more violent. But without, the reason I'm kind of like hesitant on it is because that means would have to drop through like not one area of support, but 2 areas of support. And this area of support has never been dropped below before until, since January 2018. So there are some caveats here. I'm not a mind reader. I'm just showing you that there's potential for the Bitcoin dominance to drop very hard. And I'm telling you that I see that the monetary policy can line up to give a short period of time for altcoins to do something just like that. But yes, in a full-blown altcoin season, every altcoin has a day in the sun, right? But we haven't seen one of those for a while, not since 2017. You talk to anybody who's been in the space since 2017. 2017 was effing special, man. It was special. It was different. It was like, we even haven't seen something like that since. But a lot of people think that was a flash in the pan. I don't think it was a flash in the pan. I think it's going to come once again. It's not very common, right? People think that 2017 was just kind of like a once in a lifetime thing. I don't see it like that. I see it as Bitcoin gains in liquidity. Bitcoin gains in size and adoption. The altcoin market cap will also swell because the altcoin market cap is fleshing out all the holes in the digital economy that Bitcoin can't satisfy. And there's a bunch of ways that Bitcoin does not satisfy what we need in the digital economy. Like one, BTC doesn't scale very well. It was supposed to, but hey, now that they, wanted to be a store of value, they made that problem for themselves. It's not Turing complete. So to say that Bitcoin, there's no need for an altcoin sector, people like to just take Ethereum out of altcoins. Ethereum is the biggest altcoin, and it's Turing complete. So just the whole adoption of the space and adoption by Wall Street, it's good. There's going to be an ETF of Ethereum. But once the ETF comes and Wall Street adopts Ethereum, that's letting the whole cat out of the bag. Then not only Bitcoin is special, there are other coins that are equally as important, right? You know what I mean? And I mean, just the fact that Ethereum's Turing complete and Bitcoin isn't is just obvious to me. 59 people, what's good? Have you ever looked into Glimmer? GLMR? Yeah. Wow, look, is that Moon River, one of their coins, right? Right? Think so. Yeah. 2020, I think I heard about that. XCP been really popping off the past couple months. Most recently, man, 85%, 7 days. Wow. I'm glad for you guys. You guys have been like sporting XCP for a long time now. Hard work really does pay off. Congrats. Any idea on that trickle-down effect is going to pop? I think it's popping right now, man. Like slowly. We're not in the look. Some smart money knows what's happening right now. Like people who've been through cycles before know what's happening right now. They're not asking if Bitcoin's going to go to 3,000. They know where Bitcoin's going. Bitcoin has already popped through and made all-time highs. It just hasn't stayed above. So smart money's like, okay, we've seen this before. Let's start getting into small caps. You're starting to see like not a lot of altcoins falling like 20%. Like Bitcoin's down 5%. Altcoins are up. So that tells you someone's getting into stuff. Someone's taking that newfound money and putting it into things, right? That's not what you see in a bear market. So we're starting to see that happen. But once Bitcoin stays definitively above 68, high 68,000s, like for a long extended period of time, then it's going to become very obvious to everyone like, oh, we're about to make blue sky breakouts. And then that effect is going to get greater and greater and greater. Right? So you're starting to see smart money position itself. Dumb money's not gonna know until we're like damn near 100,000, 80,000, 90,000. You know what I mean? 59 people, what's up? 61 people. And that's another indicator too, guys. Like, I'm streaming on X and YouTube. Follow me, give me a like, whatever, please. But every single week I stream, I get more and more people on the live stream, which is a good indication of the broader interest in crypto just reaching more mass consciousness, right? In the bear market, I had 6 people. You know who you are. You know what I mean? Hindsight is 2020, ain't it? That's the funny thing, man. Bear market is going to play. I mean, the bull market is going to play out. And then everyone's going to say, of course, this would have happened. It's like, yeah, man, like it's easy to look back. The hard part is trying to figure out what's happening when it's going on. You don't have like the surety, right? But at the end of the day, guys, you got to get okay with being not sure. Like, you're never going to be a very good investor if you're waiting for all the answers. Like, when you have all the answers, that's when all the ROI is off the table, right? Isn't that fair, though? You get paid as an investor to take a risk. Hey, 61 people. What up, Dub? What's good? What's good? How you been? Thoughts on cake? I bought some 7 days ago thinking it was about to go up, and obviously it dropped 22%. No problem, man. Cake. I like to watch cake to give me an idea of DeFi. I love DeFi. I think DeFi is going to come back in a big way. The chart suggests so on the market cap. But cake is probably the best thing to look at, right? Because cake was like the OG, kind of really set off DeFi summer. Binance Smart Chain was really like a pioneer in that. This thing popped off. Oh, damn. I mean, yeah. See, that's the thing, man. That's the thing. You want to buy on the drops, man, and the drops do come. No matter what people say, the noobs are going to tell you there's never going to be a drop. You're missing it. And it's not true. There's always going to be a drop. It's probably going to come back here to $3.64 or something like that. Not too far off of here. But yeah, I mean, obviously this thing's sloping up. I don't think it's the end for cake, And when cake goes, it goes. I mean, like last cycle, it went from 42 cents to $40. That's almost 100x. And, people still use Binance Smart Chain a lot. Weekly SNR is 65,500. Rejecting here means more selling. Well, yeah, we talked about it. There could be a bigger drop. We're only at 15%. We've seen 30% be pretty typical for Bitcoin and I think it needs to give some back. I think it needs to get that 30% back, like the whole 30%. Take some steam off, probably consolidate for a month or two, then do its thing. That would be the most healthiest thing for Bitcoin. Big Dub, what's up, man? How you been? Long time. If they lower rates, we're in a recession. True, but it means a immediate blow off, right? Like every single time they lower rates, there is a knee-jerk reaction that risk on assets go up. And then, like maybe after a rate cut or two, then things come to Jesus moment. You know what I mean? I mean, you can look at it, the 10-year yield. Typically when they start cutting, it's not that great. Like it means that like in the midterm, like it's not great. But people misunderstand that, right? The market is made up of individuals, right? There's going to be a knee-jerk reaction up, and that's what typically, you see that. It's called a blow-off top. The blow-off top, boop, boom, right? Like crack up, boom. We saw the 20s, the roaring 20s, Dumb money rushes in. They think, oh, it's time to go on. But the thing is, people don't understand that the Fed, they are lagging. They never are proactive. They're always like trying to fill in the holes. The reason they will cut rates because they know that economic data means that we're probably already in a recession or been in a recession. Now they're trying to save it the last minute, right? But like they don't cutting it doesn't cause a recession. They're cutting it in response to the recession. And I don't think people really understand that. You know what I mean? But hey, 62 people, what's good? What's good, Dub? Taters, hey, what's good? Coins like Omnom will emerge soon. Check it out on CoinMarketCap. Omnom, guys, that thing went up really high. That was a dog coin. Number 3,000 market cap. 5 million. Well, I mean, hell, look at this. That's what it looks like. Then come back down. You can buy some. It's 5 million market cap. Where can you buy it? Dog Swap, Mexi, Yod Swap. This is a Doge Chain meme coin. So Doge Chain itself is like a Doge derivative, like EVM compatible chain for Doge. And then there's also like meme coins on that. So Doge Chain itself is 23 million market cap. And it's pretty small, right? So the meme coins on there are pretty small too. Just know that it's not high liquidity, but this thing I think is winding up. I mean, it really launched in a bear market, to be honest. Hasn't seen a bull market, and it's pretty correlated to Doge. Although today's down 3% over 7 days, 21%. But when it breaks out, I think it do pretty big things, you know. We'll see. I mean, it's pretty small market cap. You gotta look at the market cap, man. If you want like explosive, dumb Moon Boy Lambo games, you're gonna have to like, you know, take some chances in small market cap coins. Can you please show where you think Bitcoin's going? Yeah. I'll show you guys the Bitcoin chart. Why not? Why not? You guys good? Yay, nay? You don't know? You don't know? Let's look. Okay. So this is Bitcoin on the monthly. Basically I just put a fib chart, fib channel on this thing. Just want you to know that every single pulse up that Bitcoin makes, it goes lower actually on the fib channel value, right? So I'm thinking that this next pump up will take us towards the 0.382, which is right around here. It's all about when it occurs though, because this channel is on an incline, right? So if it occurs, like some people are saying, oh, it could go before the halving. Well, I don't know. That seems unlikely, but if it happens, that would suggest somewhere around 200,000 it would top. I say get defensive around 150,000. If it takes towards December, that means that this incline is rising up and it can get well into 200,000, even towards 350,000. However, you know, like it's not guaranteed, but that's what this kind of fib channel suggests, right? Because this one right here went to like the one. This one went right above the 0.786. This one went right to the 0.618. You know what I'm saying? So there seems to be diminishing returns on the impulse, and I'm just going with that trend. Where is it going to go ultimately? I'd say 150K to 300K. That is kind of like depends on when that impulse occurs, right? But 150,000, I'm start getting defensive because, you know, I'm not trying to get the top. You probably shouldn't try to get the top. Getting the top is a fool's errand. No one gets the top. If you do, you're freaking lucky, right? You want that average. Talk about the tranches. Sell things in tranches. You know what I mean? So you have some time, I think, to think about your scaling out plan. You probably should do that. As far as where Bitcoin's gonna go, this thing can. You mean the drop? Let's look. I mean, honestly, I think it would be healthy around 52. I mean, high 50s to 52, like around here, right? I mean, you have a pretty big drop. It's probably going to come, this RSI is probably going to come down here. We're not there yet. There's going to be some more dropping to happen probably. I don't have the volume on here. Let me get that on. 70 people, what's good? Give me a like, comment, subscribe. I'd appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, man. Expect some more drop, but it's just like natural, man. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal at all. Because we're starting to see, like, don't look at Bitcoin just dropping. Look at what's happening to the market. Like, yeah, money's getting taken out of Bitcoin, but is it moving around the market or is it leaving the market? That's the most important thing. And we're starting to see money moving around the market, right? If the money stays in the market, we're not competing with the other asset classes, right? Before in the bear markets, money was straight up getting siphoned out of the cryptocurrency. Money's staying in cryptocurrency, which is great, right? That just means that they're one click away from getting back into Bitcoin. They're one click away to get into your altcoin. The hard part is getting the money here. The money's showing up and it's staying now, which is the main thing. 72 people, it's good. Moonbeam. Dope. Yeah, I mean, I haven't followed them at all. To be honest. Long time, dude, but still riding through the meta spilling vodka on the sidewalk. What fib is that? Fib channel on TradingView. On TradingView. You know what I mean? Yeah, that was Bitcoin. And then, I just showed you that is this. Like, whether it happens before the halving, I told you about the potential for Gert Van, whatever, on Twitter. He talks about that. I listen to a bunch of people, right? And then I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I like that idea. And then, oh, that's interesting. I like that idea. I'm more of from the standpoint that's going to happen towards like October timeframe, all-time highs for Bitcoin. Because for the halving seems just way too accelerated, And the way look, the structure looks like 2013. So basically, let me get this. This right here, I'm saying looks like this right here in 2013. Right? So, like, I don't think it's ready to take off right now, right? And you got to know, we had some severe drops down 2013, even right here. Like Bitcoin dropped, it spiked down, it didn't stay down, but it dropped about 31%. Oh, that's funny. We're talking about a drop in 30%, aren't we? So things have to come before the big pump up, right? If this whole fractal that I see is going to play out, then Bitcoin pumped up 800%. Now, I'm not anticipating it pumping up 800% because that was a tiny market cap. It's a different size market right now, but 172, I mean, I think it can go 200, almost 300%, Yeah, diminishing returns, but still a whole lot of money. So we'll see. You got to know, though, like there was like almost no altcoin industry back here. So all the money was basically pushed into Bitcoin, all of it in the space. There might have been a few. There were a few, actually. But like now, there's a lot more money to flow around a lot of other places. I think some of that money gets diluted, goes in other altcoins. Some people never buy Bitcoin now, so it's just a different maturity of the market. We'll see. And as time goes on and as that price performs, the Bitcoin price will actually make green candles, red candles. And we're going to see based on, that gradient I showed where it's like kind of faint red and gets to major red. That indicates like risk. The more red, the higher the price goes into the red area, means the more profit that could be had, the more risk. So you have like a visual kind of thing to keep us accountable. So we'll see. I'm not going to change it. It's going to be there. We're going to see how this initial prediction plays out. And then we're going to use it to help make decisions, right? 77 people, what's up? Yeah, guys, let's see. Talked about Bitcoin dominance already. What's up with UST dominance? Actually, no, I'm not going to talk about it yet. I'm still trying to see what I think about that chart. I think I need to add some more altcoins to that. I mean, stable coins to that. But let's see. This is total DeFi market cap. Things that dropped too, obviously, we'll see. On the day, it's obviously in the oversold territory. I mean, overbought territory. Let me reload it. My bad. 83 people. Wow. Give me a like, comment, subscribe. Love to have you. I stream twice a week, Tuesdays, Thursdays, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Holla at your boy. What is going on? Google? No. Come on, Google. Let's see it. Okay, so this is a DeFi market cap. The reason I'm saying this looks interesting is because it's very synonymous to what's happening in Bitcoin right now. It's very synonymous to what happened in Bitcoin in 2013. I think there's going to be a big comeback of DeFi. We saw DeFi kind of outshine everything in 2020, and I think that was just the start. Ever since DeFi's life cycle has been going ham, and with the introduction of more sophisticated players in the space, I think they're going to really take kindly to the thought of yield, right? Like, it's cool to have a digital asset. It's real cool. Capital preservation is great. But when it comes to like people who have a lot of wealth and want to live off their wealth, these things become attractive. DeFi throws off yield. It actually improves its finance in a way. It's decentralized, like lending is decentralized, yield generation. It's very attractive to people who study the art of making money, right? You're always Wall Street loves making money. So that I just don't see a future where Wall Street doesn't look into this hardcore at some point. Now, it might not be an ETF, right? It might not be an ETF, but family offices love yield. I mean, that's all they freaking do. They preserve the capital and make yield. So at some point, I'm expecting a huge explosive move on DeFi. We are somewhat, 88% away from the top of the market cap. Highest it ever went was 209 billion. I'm thinking this thing could get close to $1 trillion at some point. That's like 5x the money in it. The highest it ever got. Yeah. So that's 5x higher than it got in 2020. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. You always got sharp TA, Dub. I love it. Hey man, I try. We'll see if it's right, right? We'll see if it's right. But like, I think I've gotten smarter over these 4 years. If I'm not, then like, what am I doing? I might as well wrap it up. Honestly, everyone certainly that, let me help you. Everyone is certain that BTC will hit 10K or to 100K. I can't read right now. Makes me think we won't get there. Yeah, but everyone thought we were going to 100K last cycle too. At some point, it's going to hit 100K. But if we do, that's the like I get you, right? Like, we all are not bitter but jaded. We've all been in space long enough to get wrecked and think we know what's going to happen and get disappointed and lose our bags for 2.5 years and have to eat vodka for dinner and sleep under the couch. I get it, man. I get it. But at some point, it's never going to happen. It just took longer than we thought, right? It has enough money in here to get to 100K. And you know what happens when things hit like big, round, juicy, headline, enticing numbers? They blow through it. I showed you guys Polygon before. Polygon went to $1, then went straight to $2. I think that's what's going to happen when Bitcoin hits 100,000. That just sounds so sexy. So sexy. Think about it. No one cares about Bitcoin at 3,000 or 10,000 or 1,000 or 100. No one cares. But when it goes at 100,000, it's like a year's salary for like the majority of people working today. Like, yeah, people are going to care about it. That's just the way psychology works. At a certain point, like, people are just going to pile into this because they think they missed out. People don't care about taking advantage of opportunities. People care about looking stupid and not being in the move. That's the real thing. Like, this is the one thing I've learned in crypto. People do not care if they're not early to something. They just don't want to look stupid. And at some point, in $100,000 Bitcoin, people are going to be jumping in because they just don't want to look stupid. You know what I mean? 85 people, what's up? Market doesn't care when you got the tech and the fundamentals. Take a look at XEP. Are you saying you guys got the tech and fundamentals? I got the XCP army out here. What's up, man? How you guys been? Give me a like, though, please. It's the next 100 gem. For sure, jaded. Vodka for dinner, that's the one. LOL. Yep, man. Yep. So, yeah, guys. I mean, look. Yeah, Bitcoin 63,000 now. But it's okay, man. Don't freaking freak out. Like, we went through it. Like, let's put it in perspective, okay? Let's remember something. It's important. It's important. Look, October 23. This thing ran up so high. Well, what do you want to do? Just go straight up? No. At some point, this thing had to give some back. It's giving some back. Definitely around a point where I thought we would give some back. It actually went higher than I thought, you know? So let it breathe a little bit, right? Let it chill out. You don't want to just pop up and come down. Like, build a little bit of a base, you know? Like, this is promising to me. It's promising. Gives us some time. Bitcoin was down up here. Remember this? $3,000. You guys remember that? I do. Bitcoin is down here. $1,000. You remember this? I do. That's what I'm talking about. Like, around here in December? No. I remember this. I was driving home from work on 405, looking to listen to Ivan on Tech. He's talking about Bitcoin hit $1,000 again. And I was like, oh, dang. It's going all time high. It's going $1 million. And then it went down under it. And I was like, damn it. These things just play out and play out and play out just with different numbers, but it's the same old thing. Now, if you're new to the space, you don't know. I'm telling you, it's the same thing. Bitcoin's going to go down under the all-time high like it just did, and then eventually it's going to go up again, and it's going to go higher than that. It's okay. Chill, chill, chill. Know what I mean? We even had some issues right around here. I guess I could pull it up again. Let's see. You can look at, I don't have to be like, look at that dumb chart. Let's see. Right around here, 2013, yeah, right here we hit the $1,184. Is that what these are? Dollars? Yeah. Then in June 2017, I guess it was summer, it rose up to around $3,000, dropped down to right on the high, maybe a little below. Actually, right at the high. Right? People are feeling the exact same way here. But then Bitcoin ran up another almost 1,000%. We had a similar sticking point right around here. All-time high of 2017 was what? Around $20,000. Let's say that. Look at it. We popped up, came below. Popped up, came below. There was friction here. People were saying that's going to fall down to death right at around $20,000. And then Bitcoin ran up with a quickness 250%. Okay. We're experiencing some major chop right around the last all-time highs of 2021. Don't you think it's funny? I've just showed you like that happens here. And at the same time, everyone says it's going to die, but it doesn't die. It goes the opposite way. Don't get cold. Don't be a sheep. You're better than that, man. You went through the hard parts. Like, see, this is the thing. If you go through a lot of cycles, it's whatever, man. It's whatever. It's not a big deal. We're going to get there. We're going to make it. We're all going to make it. You know what I mean? Yep. Because now everyone and their mom could buy Bitcoin. Bitcoin is going to see, and I think we've seen with the extended runs that Bitcoin's had in the recent past, going from October 2023 to now, you saw how sharp that incline was. You saw how little it gave back. I think that has a lot to do with the anticipation of Bitcoin ETFs coming, spot Bitcoin ETFs coming, and the arrival of them. Right? Not only do we have the institutions buying to support their products, but if they're short on their products, they have to buy from an open market. There's been support reports circulating around suggesting that OTC supply of Bitcoin is getting low. If they can't buy at OTC, what does that mean? They must buy straight from the open market. Right around the time when we have the halving coming, that will reduce the supply of Bitcoin mined each block in half. Right around the time we could have potential reversal on monetary policy. I see a perfect storm lining up for a bull run that everyone's quasi on board with. This is the time. And the time, and on top of that, it's an election year. The sitting president usually wants to make the economy look good during election years to bolster their ability to actually win the election. It's like the stars are aligning, bro. And I can see it happen. 2024, I believe, is the year. I'm going to stick to that. I'm going to hold it. I'm not going to waver off it. If I'm wrong, it is what it is. I don't really care. I've been called dumb before. You know what I mean? That's the way it is, y'all. All right, all right. Hey, I'm going to put up on the chat an invitation. I like to do this from time to time. If anyone wants to jump on, come talk to the homie. We could talk, get up, talk about crypto, get your thoughts on the market, whatever. Check the chat. That's where the StreamYard invite link is. If not, we can go ahead and wrap this one up early. I'll give you guys about 5 minutes. But yeah, guys, I mean, it's going to be so glorious, man. It's going to be glorious. Should think about like how much money you need though, you know? That helps you like fight the greed. I don't know how big your bags are. We all have different size bags, you know, but maybe it'll help you like pay something off, right? Anything that helps you like get more time, reduce the stress. That's worth it. That's worth it. Because we've all gone through bear markets, you know, they suck. They suck bad. You don't have to go through them though. You just have to be able to like master that mindset, right? It's the mind that messes all up. So take it from me, man. I messed up plenty of cycles. Don't even ask. But you know, like you got to learn from them. You got to get better from it. And don't think about like, oh, but then I can never get back into crypto again. It's like, man, like don't have that scarcity mindset though. You know, I'm not saying you gotta get all out, but how much do you want to get out? How much would be worth it, right? Like, how much would you be happy with? And then also, you know, you take profit. You're an investor. You're not just a crypto investor, right? There's opportunities everywhere you look, everywhere, and that's where I want you guys to be different. You know, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, it's always got to be crypto. It's like, bro, like think like a wealthy person, right? Look for the undervalued opportunity and get into that, right? You just have to have your eyes peeled more so on different aspects of the economy, different things. I mean, to be honest, guys, like I used to read MIT Tech Review just to understand like new up and coming technologies, opportunities, right? I suggest doing stuff like that. Just staying aware, you know. What up? What up? How are you?
What's going on?
How you been?
Chilling, man. I came on a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Well, more than a couple of weeks ago, like a month ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I was, ultra bullish, especially on altcoins. And we sitting here now. I'm not as optimistic at all. I think, if you scroll out, look at the weekly time scale, like on TradingView, like look at the weekly RSI, um, and you're starting to turn over. You're starting to lose that momentum. It's severely overbought. I just think, your view that we need a pullback. I think that's due. We're going through that now, but the question becomes, um, I think it's a more uncomfortable question for a lot of people. Um, what if these narratives aren't as strong as people are suggesting? Um, because I mean, I'm not trying to spread any fear or anything like that, but it's just you look at the chart and you look at the weekly time scale. Every time you've gotten to these levels, I mean, granted, you have
On which
had
chart?
some
Which chart?
on Bitcoin. Bitcoin's weekly. And just using, the standard RSI, when you get to these type of levels on RSI, I mean, you can go back in history. Anytime you get in these, like, close to 90, you have, severe sell-offs. Um, there is a possibility that you do make another high. You do get that, pullback and then run again. But I mean, we're looking at history repeating. I mean, unless this is a 2000 like 16 to 17 run, which is possible. Um, you just got to be more cautious. I feel right now, and what really is getting me a little bit more worried is not just looking at Bitcoin. You talk about looking at other assets, um, looking at your Nasdaq, your technology there. Um, you're showing some.
Hello? You still there?
So, and
Oh,
yeah, I'm just being a lot more cautious um, with my projections, simply because looking at the more trying to look at a more complete picture of what's going on, not just in crypto, but also in the broad, in in traditional markets,
hmm
with interest rates the way they are. Um, it's an interesting period we're in, um, but that's just my thoughts of what's going on.
yeah.
Um,
So you're talking about the RSI on the weekly. You're talking about like a 2017 run because you see this, right? Like kind of chop on the RSI.
yeah,
Unless something
well,
happened like that. That's what you're
yeah,
saying?
yeah, like from basically like from 16, you got into overbought territory, you sold off, and then for about a year, um, you had you were just ranging just with the RSI, but you were making higher highs, and then you finally had your blow off top, that December 2017. You want to see something more like that if we're going to be hitting, 100K plus. You don't want to have a occurrence like last cycle, or yeah, like last cycle where you had your high and then you made a higher high, but you know, that was your basically your big run. You had one run and then you made that high again, and then you just topped out.
hmm
Um, so you want to have something sustained. So, I mean, I think I was saying like early March, I think it was like March 8th or 10th or something like that, around then. I was like, I was expecting to pull back more because just looking at the technicals, um, we are just overheating there. And you go on Twitter, everybody's telling you the next meme coin to pop off. The sentiment was pseudo bullish. It was we were going to hit 80K within the weekend. And when you get into those with the sentiment like that, it usually pulls back.
But let me ask you, don't know what changed in the analysis, but why did you decide to get more defensive?
Like I said, it's not just with the R side being so overbought, but mostly looking at the broader markets, traditional markets, you're starting to see some weakness um, in traditional markets, um, especially with the technology sectors. They've been, with the Nvidias and Apple's, Microsoft's, they've been running hot for, since the bottom in 2022 in October. Um, and now they're starting to show some weaknesses on a weekly time scale, starting to
hmm
show some bearish divergence. Um, you're starting to lose steam within the momentum, and so you know when you're starting to see things like that, those are your most profitable, your most worth companies. Crypto is going to take that hit if
Yeah,
there's something like
like
that.
on the weekly, I'm looking at it, and yeah, it's in a over bought territory, but on the monthly, it's not. I mean, like the weekly would suggest for the next couple months it would have to cool off, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, the reason why I also I said the levels of 65.5. If you look at the chart, the closing on the weekly, and then I think the last cycle. I mean, you just rejected that. You really, if you want to keep this momentum to the upside, you really have to stay above those levels, 69.1 as well. Breaking those levels, and now those levels starting to become resistance. Your next level is really 60K, 58K. So if we don't get above 65.5 soon, you're going to be seeing probably the 58 to 60K range. You have to see where how Bitcoin reacts to that, and also you got the Fed talking tomorrow. You
Yeah, that's what I'm
mentioned
saying. Yeah. It's kind
yeah,
of like uncharted right now.
yeah, and you mentioned how just interest rates itself. Um, I just right now this is the interesting time we're living in. I think the interest rates right now they have an inversion with the 5 and 2 over the 10, and it's been like that for months. It's never been this prolonged inversion. I think that's interesting, and it's usually a screaming, that there's issues within the market, the broader market, and then usually when you start to see the 10 roll back over those shorter term time frames, you tend to have a recession. You tend to have a drawdown. So
Yeah,
those are
I
the
mean, I don't have the chart up for the interest rates, but like typically, guys, when their inversions, like inversion is extreme, it means like recession is coming. And some would say like recession is just the new word for depression too, depending how bad it is. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I think there's probably going to be some kind of blow off at some point because I think it's going to be some kind of react like due from monetary policy, and I don't know what's going to make it happen, right? But the Fed has stated it's going to reduce rates at this year, right? Why are they reducing? It's usually because there's bad things happening,
yeah,
right? And we know that the inversion of the yield curve has been like inverted for a while. So it suggests that there is like the reckoning is coming, right? But doesn't mean there can't be a blow off before then. I agree that we have to give some back. I stated in the beginning of the stream, I wouldn't be surprised if it came at 52, to be
I wouldn't be
honest.
surprised either. That actually would be, with the run we had, it would be healthy. Um,
I'm not mad at it. Like if you look at like how fast we went up, it's stupid. It's like we went up
yeah,
fast so fast. It's like it's okay. You got to give some back. If anything, it's a breather, and that would kind of make sense with the like possibility I see with it like peaking around the end of the year, October to December. I don't know when, you know.
yeah,
But I think yeah, we'll give it a breather. It seems like the right thing to do, but it kind of depends on the Fed. And the reason I think the Fed's going to come into like major play right now is because it's an election year. You know,
yeah. That's another curveball that I'm not even, paying attention to at the current moment. Because I mean,
yeah,
the election's over already. So I'm not really. Yeah, you already kind of know the result, so I'm not really paying attention to it.
yeah,
So
because like Trump when he was. I mean, I'm not picking on Biden. It's just that like that's what presidents do. Like they don't control the Fed, but they can strongly publicly hint to the Fed that they want them to do something. You know,
yeah, they
um,
don't.
yeah,
Monetary policy is way more important than whoever the president is. People
mhm.
always, talking about give credit to Trump because people like are going around saying, "Well, we had money when Trump was in." No, it was just your fiscal policy was a lot more lax, so there was a lot more money slushing around. But right now, it's just an interesting time. I'm not like I'm not bearish like midterm right now. This short term bearish, but I'm just giving word of caution because you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, no worries. I think we're on the same page. Like for the next couple months, you could see a pretty significant drop down in Bitcoin. I mean, just as surprisingly as it went up so fast, don't be surprised if it goes down as fast as like I always talk about like, the more sustained the trend, the more sustained the drop, the more impulsive the pump, more impulsive the drop. This is a pretty impulsive pump, so can't get mad if it drops down like, I think 52 is probably reasonable. I don't think it's the
Yeah,
end of the bull run, but
no, I don't. I don't. I'm not stating that yet. We'll see, but I don't believe that at this point.
yeah.
Just a significant pullback would be normal, and then like I said, hopefully we get a prolonged bull market. Depending on that fiscal policy,
Yeah,
is
and the,
really
the
going
reason
to.
I think it's just kind of like a low is because the Bitcoin dominance, like it's a good reason to look at different charts too, right? Like the Bitcoin dominance suggesting a rising wedge. It's broken the bottom multiple times. I think it wants to drop, it's just kind of like when,
I
so
have a
we'll
target for the Bitcoin diamonds going to 60. I had it since it broke out of the range.
hmm
Um, I think it was back in the beginning of last year, if I'm not mistaken. It was consolidating for a while and it broke out. And like the target is 60. So I'm watching. You're probably not going to get a significant drop till then, but anything can happen. You don't have to hit that target.
well, I don't know
So
if you can see the chart. Can you see my screen or no?
let me look.
Yeah, I'm sharing
Yeah, I can
the
see it.
Bitcoin
Yeah,
dominance right now, and that makes a lot of
yeah,
sense. I mean, like, look, guys, like sometimes, and especially in 2020, this big jump in Bitcoin dominance was because of the spike in DXY. And the reason that spiked was because of the COVID lockdowns. Like that's what
Mm.
happened. It spiked DXY. Everyone sold their stuff, went to cash because they were scared. So what you're basically inferring is we might have like some kind of like event like that, whether it's stemmed from like some kind of COVID-esque thing. I'm not saying that, but what I am saying is there might be some kind of like catalyst to cause that. Um,
I mean, there's usually with a drawdown or a recession, there's always some type of catalyst, um, or maybe we get to 60 and there's some positive developments within the broader markets, and who knows? All I know is it's
well,
like
yeah. Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, the drop down in 2020 to 2021 in the Bitcoin dominance was really caused by the Fed's response to that catalyst, right?
yeah.
And that was printing, right? They printed like what 60% of the dollars in existence in a weekend, right? So
Hmm.
I think that's what always drives Bitcoin. Like, guys, you got to remember, like in the Bitcoin Genesis block, it says like, "Hey, this is going to be a response to like the central banking system." So I think what makes Bitcoin go up is ultimately the central banking system. Yeah,
There was somebody, I think, who was the old BitMEX CEO? I
I
forgot
don't
what
know.
his name, the Arthur or whatever. I forgot his name, but I think he shared a chart before that. It showed the correlation between, the fiscal policy of the central bank and Bitcoin's price. And every time they were flushing money into the system, Bitcoin's price appreciated.
Yeah.
You did just have that banking program
Hmm.
that just expired last week.
Yeah, the reverse
Um,
repo.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how things, start to move from those policies starting to, end, and we'll just see. I mean, it's been a good year so far, but just right now, I wouldn't be me personally. I'm not sitting here like, oh, jump into this coin and this coin, like because the macro right now is not looking as hot.
Yeah, but you know what's interesting, and I'm not saying I'm not disagreeing with you. I said what's interesting though is like Bitcoin had a 5% drop, well, I guess 15% at this point now. But like some small caps are still popping, which is
Yeah,
interesting. Like now all the money's not flowing out like you would think like a bear market event would cause.
yeah, that gives some some keeps you optimistic that we're just like I said, getting a drawback, and then we'll get a bigger run later on in the year. But
Yeah.
it's just some of it just might be delayed reaction because a lot of people are starting to jump in because they're starting to see those meme coins really go insane within a few hours, and they want to jump onto that next um, 10,000x or 1,000x move. So it's just a delayed reaction. I think if we do get to the 50K area, you'll start to see those type of coins and that type of hype start to really die down, and maybe people will get a lot more bearish, and that's where I'm going to be looking for an opportunity to add on.
Cool,
So
man. Well, hey,
yeah,
thanks for calling in and weighing in on the topic. Appreciate it.
no problem, man.
All right, bro. Talk to
All
you
right,
later.
peace.
Bye. Interesting times, guys. Yeah, it's just kind of a big area of uncertainty right now of what's gonna happen, right? Like we don't have the luxury of crystal balls. All we have is the data. We'll learn more as the data plays out, but tomorrow's an interesting day. Fed meeting, they're gonna say what they're gonna do with interest rates. They've been holding it so far. But if they don't drop interest rates this year, it's going to be hitting on their credibility because they said they're going to start doing it. The reason they want to convince people that they're going to start dropping interest rates is essentially because they want to make people think they have like total control over inflation. If you don't remember, they started raising interest rates because inflation was going wild. You saw it in your gas, your food, your rent, your housing. 2021 was a very expensive year, right? They started raising interest rates, brought on the crypto bear market. A lot of assets started getting tamed, but it also tamed inflation, right? But they know that if they keep raising rates, and that's why they stopped raising rates. They held them steady. Was because if you keep raising rates, it brings down asset prices. The whole economy is built on asset prices. You can't just collapse the whole country's like real estate because you want to tame inflation. They are between a rock and a hard place. So they're saying, oh, we're going to lower it 2024. Now it's time to actually follow through. But the thing is, if they start lowering it, they know the inflation is going to start running rampant again. They don't have anywhere to really move anymore, right? It's going to be interesting to see. But guys, it's been fun. 52K is nice. Yeah, it's not bad. I don't care. Binance does not work. Trump will fix our economy when he gets in. I mean, look, man. I'm not really on a side. I think they're all part of the same thing. Hegelian dialectic. You go here, you get F. You go here, you get F. Why do you think there's only two real parties? If you vote for another party, it's like throwing your vote away. We'll see, man. We'll see. Washington needs to do house cleaning. Term limits are needed. Bitcoin will go up in time. Oh man, we're getting spammed. What would you short now? I don't short. I ain't doing that. No. A lot of people lose their money on short in crypto, man. But you guys could try. Tell me how it goes. It's been fun, guys. 108 people, 109 people. I'm blessed. Please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe. I come up on here. I talk about crypto twice a week. Tuesdays, Thursdays, 12 p.m.-ish Pacific Standard Time. My name's Dub Digital. It's been fun. Talk to y'all later. Peace.